The garage is empty. And today we are back with another video on another shipbox. The shipbox is not here yet. The shipbox is out there. So that thing is owned by Loyals right here up at his IG. Y'all have seen me work on this car before. You've seen me do a couple things and you're probably wondering why it's even back in the first place. To tell you why it's back, I'm gonna get it inside first, set you up on the ground right here. You guys can watch me send this thing into the garage, and then I'll tell you why it is that this thing is even back here in the first place. So let's do that. All right, let's do this. And just like that, this thing is inside. So let's go ahead and look at some of the stuff we got. We got some parts, we got some ideas. And for the most part, this thing is really in here to get a little more camber out the front and the rear. And he has also purchased some Swift springs. Swift springs right here. I'm pretty sure these are 40Ks. So we're gonna do two 40Ks in the front. He also is gonna throw the rear of the car on some washers. So don't judge it, it's gonna be on washers. We're gonna fix the side skirt, do front and rear brakes, and just see if we can get a little bit more fitment out of this thing and kind of prep him for when he's ready to go 3-piece wheels. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll get this thing up in the air and get onto the business. Just like this. Boom. Wheels are off and I got gloves on. You see how that magic works, bro? So to tell you in a easy manner, what's gonna happen is this coilover has to come out both sides, fronts. That way we can do the Swift springs. Take these guys out. I'm gonna have to do something for the tie rods, and we're gonna see if we can get a little bit more camber out of this thing. Let's do it. So that is one of the things we got to do on that. Another issue is that he rubs really bad in the front. If I show you on his front tires, yeah, he rubs really bad, and it's because we lowered the car a little more and had absolutely no time to cut more last time. So this time we're gonna cut into this. As you can see, that is clearly where he rubs, is on this inner edge. If you guys remember the EM2 video and you paid attention, I got rid of all of that. Right here, got rid of all that. So we'll do the same thing to his car. Ooh. That way he stops rubbing super crazy in the front. We have to take the fenders off for that. And then for the rear is real simple. We'll drop the rear coilovers and we're just gonna throw them on washers. The Swift springs I have are 40Ks. They're a lot shorter than what's in there right now, so it'll be easier to get some adjustment out of the front coilover. And we'll be able to get the bottom of the shock, this part, away from the axle. But first, I think I'm gonna take the front bumper, or at least loosen the front bumper from the fenders, because there's screws. All the tabs on this bumper are broken. This bumper has been through hell. But all the tabs are broken, so there's 2 screws up in here and up in the other corner. I'll go ahead and get those out with the screw gun. I think I'll take the fenders off first. Might get the cutting out the way, because I feel like that's the most important part. Get the cutting done and over with now, and then pull the coilovers out, get the rear coils out, get those ready, take the springs off the back ones, swap the springs on the front ones. That way tomorrow afternoon, all I really have to do is fitment and test fitting and taking wheels on and off, on and off, on and off. So let's go ahead, set you up on the tripod. You guys can watch me take the fenders off, take the coilovers out, and yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it. Voila. That was like what time is it? 6. I would say like 30 minutes roughly. I started at like 5:30. I want to say. Coilovers are out. I have the other. There it is. The other rear. I didn't show you when the time lapse me taking the back ones out because it gets kind of weird inside the car. Coilovers are out. Knuckles are chilling in the engine bay or wheel well. But pro tip here. If you are like me and you forget where everything is, you set something down and you forget where it was, Bolts. Bolts. Put your bolts back where they came out of. Put them all back. Trust me. Look, I even put these back. That one and this one. Put them all back. The only ones I didn't put back. No, I even put those back. Look, I even put the nuts. Pretty much what we have to do now. I'm gonna do the springs. I'm gonna take those springs out and kind of get an idea of how many washers I'm gonna have to stack in there. We're not gonna run the bushing or the bump stop bushing, whatever. Some people do. I don't like using it on these cars because these cars rub really bad. Right here, you can see the rubbing marks. But since they rub so bad there, putting that bump stop in, if you're gonna keep it tight, it's only gonna rub still because that little bit of play, not a little bit of rubber play. These are for the front, washers for the rear. For now, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take the springs off of this assembly, get the Swifts on the front, and take the rear ones off and measure. Like I said, I need to know how many washers I gotta get for this thing. And all right, cool. I don't need these lights. Take the dampening nut off. That's gonna be the first little step of this process. Take this guy off. You don't wanna lose that. That's the one. And the proper wrench. Go ahead. Oh. All right, now that I have struggled and I got these all loose, I'm gonna go ahead and ratchet it off like this. You got your nut, which has your centering bushing as well. So keep that in mind. Don't lose the nut and then replace it with a random one. Put the top hat to the side. Get this cap off. This is important. Go ahead and get the spring out. Toss this to the side like that. And then we'll take this beautiful gem, put it right in there. Top hat. Right here. Make sure it goes down onto the centering bushing. Go ahead and tighten this back down. Like this. Boom. You have a Swift spring on a BC coilover. That's one. I'll do the other front one later. I also loosened these too because I wasn't gonna do that on camera as well. So I'll show you what it is we're doing with these. Because some people ask, like, what do you mean by washers? I'll show you exactly what I mean by washers. Same thing, nut off. This one has a washer. Top hat is a bushing style thing. Kind of gotta knock it off. Left half here. This is the top hat. The spring is just pressed in there. There's like a rubber thing. All right, here. First thing that has to happen is I'm gonna pull this washer out. When people go on washers, what they do, this thing has like a lock ring type of thing. It's kind of obnoxious, but we'll get that out. What they mean is, this is the space between here and here. That's all the shock travel you pretty much have. When you put it on washers, you get rid of this, the little bump stop bushing that's inside of here as well, and you stack washers in here. This is an adjustable shock, so I mean, I'm pretty much just gonna add like 5, 6 washers on here. Basically, put them on the shaft, put this guy back on with nothing here, and put the top hat back in, and I can adjust the height. That'll compensate for ride height, and the car is just gonna drive like that. Pretty much, yeah, I'll show you. Oh, I'll show you. When you do it, you're then gonna look like this. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other Swift spring real quick, and we'll catch up when we're ready to catch up. Beautiful. So this is pretty much the assembly of the front with the Swift springs, both sides. Rears are pretty much fully disassembled and ready to put washers. So now that you see it apart, that little washer sits in this little lock ring. It's slid up, so I'll put it back down into this groove. But that washer gets locked onto there and acts as a top hat holder, right? Kind of like this thing right here acts on the front. In between is where I'm gonna stack like 5-6 thick washers, just to not have the shock all the way down. Does that blow them? I don't know. If I put a couple washers in here, it'll keep a little bit of the space open so it doesn't max all the shock all the way down. And yeah, if we can keep these together for a while, they're BCs. If we can keep them in one piece, that would be awesome. Because at some point you can get Swift springs in the rear, tubs, whatever. You know, it's a static car. It can go pretty far. But let me stop yapping on that part. We have these ready to go. I just gotta pick up some washers, which I might do tonight or tomorrow after work. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. and it's now 6:30. I still got stuff to do inside the house. But the car is ready for some chopping for sure. I mentioned earlier that he rubs very bad in here. And you guys know that I cut into this area here on mine, and then I came up across and took some off of that inside edge. It's not going to affect anything. I mean, worst case scenario, if you ever rear end somebody, the front of the car is not going to be as strong, but he knows that. We're going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit, try to alleviate some of the rubbing, hammer this up a little. I found a trick I can do with the fuse box, so that way when I hit up underneath, it doesn't press up against the bottom of it. Same thing on this side. He does rub right there. He doesn't rub too bad on the back because he doesn't have full lock. It only rubs turning on the inner edge. And then also here, this side rubs a lot more for some reason. Couldn't tell you why. It might be lower on this corner by a tiny bit, but who knows? That will be fixed this time around with the Swift springs and the ride height adjustment and the cutting, and maybe just maybe a little bit more camber. I can't guarantee it, but we're sure as hell gonna try. What I'm thinking is, man, that's crazy. Anyways, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up. I am draining my pool cover. It rained a lot the past week, so I'm doing that. I'm just gonna clean up the area, close up the back of the car so the battery doesn't die, figure out the washer situation on these, clean up a little, and I'll probably check in with you guys tomorrow, later. I don't know. It's gonna be this quick watch. For you guys, it's gonna be this quick watch. And we're back. I didn't even know what day it is, to be honest. It's like, Tuesday, December 3rd. We went on a trip past Thanksgiving, spent it with my in-laws. As you guys saw on the Instagram page, I am now engaged. No, I don't wear the ring, the girl does. But yeah, thank you, honestly, to everybody who hit me up and said congratulations, who liked the post, who messaged me. I had people saying congratulations that honestly I haven't talked to in years, and it was nice. So thank you to every single one of you. I look insane. As I was trying to say, thank you so much, literally, to every single one of you that commented on my post on Facebook, messaged me. If I didn't get back to you, I'm sorry. My personal page has been blocked. A little steroid monkey, y'all probably know who I'm talking about, reported a message I sent. Anyways, it's not that big of a deal. We are moved on. But what are we gonna do? We gotta cut. My biggest goal today is to get this cut. Chop this up, right down the middle, right back up, cut the back, and make it look like mine. He does a lot of rubbing right here and stuff like that. So if we can alleviate that, I know he's gonna be super happy, and the car will be a lot more drivable. We will get that done first. Then I can go ahead and get the rear shocks put back in. Those are ready to go with the washers. They're just gonna need adjustments and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, we really just gotta go ahead and get most of the stuff back together on this thing, do the cutting, and have some fun. So let's go ahead and start cutting, and we will come back when we have an update for you guys. All right, we're done cutting. See the magic? You just, and this dude up here, see, bro, I'm too nice. Anyways, The stuff is cut.
The car is not here.
It weighs less. Slim fast.
Race car.
This is automotive slim fast right here. We cut pretty much the entire bottom piece thing. So now that it's out, you can actually see this is the inner side. So you see how it kind of looks like it's been getting hit with a torch? That's from the tire rubbing. It got it so hot from just rubbing that it's like torching the metal away. But we cut this in the inner lip. This little inner lip thing. This is really where a lot of the rubbing was too. And we're pretty much just playing around with how this is gonna go. Remember the top hats I had the first time? I put them on the yellow RSX. I bought another set. I put these on my car, but now they could be going on this car. It depends. We have to see what the axles are gonna let us do. Because I don't really know. We had to take camber out of the yellow RSX in the front, so it was kind of different. And I got rid of the camber brackets, but it has the same number, so who knows what's gonna happen. We're gonna have to try first and see if these top hats are gonna be able to give us more camber than what the car has without having axle issues. If it does have axle issues, at that point he doesn't need the top hats. He's going extended lowers, and we can just run the ones that come with the BCs. So I don't want to go ahead and cut strut tower more and do the notch thing. That I don't want to do that if I don't have to do that, because I did it to this car and now I don't need it. So you see my dilemma?
Unless.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But really the back is simple. I don't have a lot to do to the rear. I just got to put the shocks back in, do some hammering. I gotta use my head because the light is on my forehead. Hammering of this, get that out the way a little bit, fix the bumper bracket, trim the bumper a little more, put it on washers. I have extra washers too. They're not big. I use the small ones at the top if I need to. They're like mid-size, like these. You can see them in there. So I have a bunch of washers there if I need to add more, and if the shock gets kind of sketchy. I don't want to raise this bottom section way too much, and then it's like half out of the bottom. But this looks good though. Yo, look at it came into its own washers.
Actually, that's calm.
Right? So pretty much what I did here is I put the washers on, and the washers that I used are the same size as this boot. So the boot fits right over the washers, and that'll keep the shock kind of clean looking. And yeah, let's figure out how much. I'm gonna add more washers so that way I can raise this all the way down and start from there. Update time. I mean, the rear. The rear. So we got a decent little fitment going here. I don't think we can go lower right now. He's on the washers, no rubbing. Oh, actually there is a little bit, but it's from the curb rash on this wheel because the fitment's so tight right here. See, but it's fine. That'll be good. And the rear is on the washers. I adjusted both shocks. They're in all the way. I just got to put the top hat, bolts, nuts on that side. That's good to go. I have wrenches in here. I just got to clean up. And the back is pretty much done for the time being. He still needs smaller tires, and he also needs some other things wheel related that we'll talk about some other time. We might add a little bit of camber, but he needs a bigger spacer. So we'll revisit that topic later. The front now is, I got the top hat back in. I have the shock in. This is ready to go. This knuckle just has to get bolted to that. Test for how much camber we have, and jack the wheel up just to kind of get an idea of what the clearance is now. And yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna mash this up a little bit more too. And other than that, that's it for the front. What else? That one's still out. This side will be the last side since it's up against the wall. I don't really want to fight with it. And then the second thing we're doing that's modified is adding the springs for the fenders at the bottom, so I don't have to put the bolts back in. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much straightforward from here. The knuckles already shaved. I can't really shave much more, like maybe a tiny bit, but the camber that we're gonna get out of the front for now, because in reality he needs another spacer anyways, I'm gonna use a camber bolt on the bottom. That'll bring the bottom out, push the top in. That'll add a little more, not a lot, but yeah, it should be enough. And if I really wanted to, I could be like a lot of other people and notch this outwards. I just don't like doing that because then this wall right here gets super thin and it's sketchy. But yeah, for the most part, that's kind of what the back is gonna look like for now. If he goes smaller tires, like a 35 sidewall, we could probably drop the rear another inch and tuck. I mean, he's tucking like the second, like this area right here, but it could probably come down to like It's probably about here. But yeah, we're gonna have to do some cleaning up. It fucking snowed outside. As you can see, it's white.
Yay.
I got a couple Christmas lights to put up on a tree real quick for my girlfriend, so she's a happy woman. And yeah, let's clean up, and we'll see each other in like. And we're back, just like that. Real smooth, real easy, just like that. Coilover is back in its home. As you can see, I did some test fitting. I just wanted to kind of get it in here and see how it looked. And yeah, I did some small adjusting at the knuckle at the bottom just to kind of make sure that the camber is all even. I had the rear shock mounted. This is in all the way. Boom. Washers are in place. Pretty much at this point, all I have to do is do the other side. So I'm gonna do some minor adjustments on that corner, get that coilover in there. The back other side is already in as well. And at that point, we can start testing and fitting wheels and see how the fitment's gonna turn out. With all the cutting, hopefully we have no more rubbing, and this alleviates some of the problems he had, especially with the tires getting destroyed. You guys saw the picture, or you guys saw the clip of that one tire all over there that has the crater in the center of it from it rubbing so bad. This got hammered up a little bit as well, just to kind of help the clearance. There's only so much I can do because the fuse box, like I said. But yeah, we're pretty much at the point where we can start doing alignment things. I may have to do some trimming of the tie rod ends just to get these to fit on and not hit, you know, the max out point, because if I max them out, then I have no more toe adjustment, and I'm probably gonna have a little bit of toe issues since I did all these things. Side skirt repairs are actually gonna be super easy. He asked me if I could fix this side skirt because the tabs are all gone, but I'm gonna see if I can get the screws into the mounting bracket. And these tabs in here, see how it has mounting brackets in here? See if I can get those screwed into the body where they should be, so that way it stays in its place. But yeah, let's go ahead, jump into that side, get that coilover all put together and assembled into the car so we can get wheels on. I also have brakes for this thing. I don't know if you remember, I have a full brake kit somewhere under the car. We can do those last. I didn't want to do them yet because I'm grinding and cutting, so I don't want the brakes to get all covered in metal and then rust as they sit in the garage. So that, yeah, that's the gist. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's put the coil in, and we'll be back when this thing looks more like a car, because I'll get the fenders on too. So maybe I'll put you guys on a time lapse and you'll see me do that like this. And it looks like a car again. I had to take the gloves off. Bro, it is freezing. Freezing. If you live in the northeast specifically, you know it is freezing right now. But that's not gonna stop us from working on this thing. We got the fenders on. We got it looking like one car again, kind of. The next thing I wanna do, I got the side skirts fixed too, as you can tell. No more sagging of the side skirts. The next thing all right, fender, side skirts. Next thing I want to do is the brakes. I left the brakes for last because I didn't want to get them covered in grinding dust and cutting. I kept that out of the video because you guys don't gotta see me cut another car. Y'all have seen me cut a couple cars, especially this one already, so cutting it again didn't make a difference. I think we're gonna sneak the heater over here so that way I get some heat over there. Let's do these brakes, and hopefully after the brakes, I can put wheels on, start fitting and adjusting coils. I might have to raise the rear a tiny bit because once the car's on the ground, it might sit a little lower than it did when I jacked up just this corner. And yeah, let's go ahead and time lapse us doing some brakes, because I'm sure most of you know how to do brakes. And if you don't, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see me doing like breakdown of doing brakes. If none of you know how to do them and you want to do them yourself, yeah, learning with Ray. Let's get this done. Just like that, brakes are done. It looked like it happened a lot quicker, but I promise you it took me like an hour because the rear ones were a pain in the ass. Rotors, pads, rotors and pads. So that is pretty much all the mechanical stuff. At this point, The car's ready to see wheels, right height adjustment, and alignment, which that we can take care of tomorrow because it is like almost 8 o'clock and I work in the morning. So yeah, let's go ahead, clean up the work area, and we will catch you tomorrow just like, and bam, just like that. You see, clean. Next day, I'm wearing a different hoodie, and the car's on the ground with the wheels on. And yeah, I didn't want to show you me putting the wheels on. You've seen me put wheels on before. You've seen me do coilover adjustments. You don't gotta see that. But as you can see, I mean, the car's sitting like an inch lower than it used to be. The rear is still gonna use a little bit of right height adjustment, but for the most part, we did all the heavy duty stuff. The next thing this car is gonna get, we're working with Marshbuilt. Right here, I'll put his IG. Y'all probably all know Marshbuilt if you're watching my videos. He is making us some extended front lowers. As you see, I do not own a welder yet. Hopefully that will change soon. But in the time being, I don't have a welder. So we're gonna send those over to Marsh. He's gonna go ahead and extend them 1 inch so we can go ahead and do some other things for future plans that he has with the car. So I'm probably gonna be keeping it. It's probably gonna be in the background, parked outside, just looking good. That, and then EF Lewis, another person, put his name right here. He is coming to drop his truck off at, well, I don't have my watch on, 4:30, 4:45. And we're gonna go ahead and get the headliner out so we can do a starlight. I'll show you the truck. Yeah, little preview of what the next videos are gonna be like, because I'm gonna work on that. I also have another car, and I also have some wheels to test fit onto something. So there's another car out there that you guys have probably never seen, or if you have seen it, you're local to us, and that's the only reason why you know the car. We're gonna be working on that. It's a whole different platform. It's not a Honda, it's not an Acura, and it's not anything I've ever touched. So we're gonna learn together. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the bumper on this thing, and we'll catch you when everybody's here and we're doing some cutting and some headliner stuff. Bumper's on, car's running. The battery was dead, so I had to jump start it, get this shit running so the battery charges. This is the other car that I've been talking about. This is the car that's gonna get some stuff. You're gonna see some videos on it. In the next couple days, I gotta do car shuffle, put this outside until we got the other parts for it. And let's park this up over there in the spot, put it on the battery charger to charge the battery, and then we'll go ahead and we'll talk. Okay, update on the update. So we have Lewis's truck. Right now in front of my house, we have a lowered Silverado. Lewis dropped it off to get a starlight. We have the starlight kit here. We have a bunch of random assortment of things. But yeah, we have the headliner here. We have to drop it down. And to start all that, we gotta figure out where all the clips and all the fun stuff is. All right. What's that? Needless to say, that was an episode, but we got it out. Pretty much, I'm just gonna clean up the area. The truck is staying here, so I don't have to worry about cleaning up all the tools and making sure that it's like all put together so he can take it home. I'm just gonna kind of organize and clean up just so I have all the parts and all the hardware I need. We'll go ahead and get the parts inside, and we will come back and talk when we are inside the house and ready to wrap it up. All right, and that's that. Headliner is out. I have the headliner in the basement. I have spray glue, everything I need to do the headliner. And this thing is pretty much finished up other than the lower control arm. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everybody who subscribed, everyone who has stuck around this far. I know the consistency has been a little off, but if you have a life, you understand where I'm coming from. I work a 9 to 5. I have a girlfriend. I have a home. I have projects. I have a life. So sometimes it gets a little shady here and there when it comes to making content. I don't always get to make all the content that I want to make, but we're trying to get to that point. But anyways, thank you so much for subscribing. Like, comment, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you're looking down at the bubble right now and it's still red, hit that shit, please. It means a lot to us, and we are on the road to 1K right now, so we can go ahead and hit monetization and start taking this serious. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you got a cousin, sister, brother, mother, father, cousin, I don't know, whoever you know that isn't a Rebuilt fan yet, get them on board. They might like the videos. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you guys have a good night. I lied. I got one more thing. I do want to know what you guys think. Throw me some feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what it is that you want to see. I really do this for you guys, to show you something different, show you something new. So I don't want to just record everything I do in this place. I mean, if there's specifics that you guys enjoyed from previous videos, if you want to see Gio more, if you want to see whoever you've seen in the previous videos that made you laugh, made you joke, if it was specifically me and Gio working together that you guys enjoyed, throw it down in the comments. Let me know. We'll get him in the videos. He is also a busy dude himself, but I'm sure that we can make something happen if that's what you guys want to see. I also will show you guys more of stuff that I do on the side. I do a lot of house stuff. I play a lot of games. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff I could show you. I just don't want to bore you guys with stuff you don't care about. So yeah, hop down in the comments. Let me know if there's any specifics you want to see. If you want to know more about this car, I do want to do a walkthrough. I don't know if there's anybody in here that actually cares and wants me to do a build breakdown. Oh my God. I can do build breakdowns on this car, full top to bottom, everything. Remember, we got this car stock. So if you guys want to see any build breakdowns on this, you want to see a build breakdown on Gio's car, if you simply just want to see me talk to a lot of the locals, see some cool cars, do some build breakdowns, and meet some new people, that's something that I would love to do. I just gotta know if something you guys want to see. But yeah, hop down in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you specifically want to see in the videos. And if it's just Gio, bro, y'all weird. But let me know. I'm out your face.